Welcome back to another episode here on the Crash Out League TV. It's your host A Dub, but I'm with my co-host Manny Boy. We got a lot of things to go ahead and announce to you guys. So sit back, chillax, get you a little drink, maybe get you some popcorn because I know it's a show for some of y'all. But let's go ahead and get it popping, Manny. Go ahead and talk to him.
Folks, welcome in to episode 8. And we are in episode 8. So that means that we are heading in to week 7 of the NFL season. Now, typically we start off giving you a recap about the scores and who won and who lost. But actually, we're going to take a look at that board. Hey, Dub, let's go ahead and look at the bounty board to start us off this week. As you know, Coach Justin currently has the bounty on him. He's saying that he wants to hold it longer than anybody else in the league. Hey, Doug, was he able to keep it? Or did somebody take him out?
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and check that out for you. So, like you said, Team CDL with Coach Justin went in for another week to try to secure that bounty into the next week. But there's a little problem that came up, man. Team GBK, one of the top teams in the league that put up major numbers, came in to compete and take his shot to be able to take this bounty away from Coach Justin and Coach CDL and Team CDL. Was he able to do it? No, sir. He took his shot, fired, and shot himself in the foot. So we all know what that means. Team CDL and Coach Justin moves on to another week, tying Coach Fabian with Team Jamaica Workers.
Another one.
3 weeks in a row with the bounty. Now, can he continue with this bounty going in for another week to be the new leader on the bounty board of keeping it for consistent weeks? That is the story, though.
Yeah, that's the question. Now, we're going to look at these fantasy recaps, folks. Hey, Dub, go ahead and pull up the scores. And the first one that we're going to talk about is that game of the week. It was CDL versus GBK, two of the, in my opinion, best names in the league. But this one was a dogfight, genuinely. I mean, it was two high-scoring games. Guys were going over projection left and right. CDL putting up a monster 146.42, and that was enough to secure him the win against GBK, who in his own right put up 137.58. I mean, again, this was a knockout punch for knockout punch. But at the end of the day, CDL able to punch back hard enough. So he will go ahead and continue to have a perfect record 6-0 in the Crash Out League. And he stands right at the tippy top of the standings. And unfortunately for GBK, he will find himself with the loss, but that knocks him to 6th place overall.
Oh, man, when you got two Goliaths going at each other, somebody got to fall. Somebody got to go down. And unfortunately, the team who stepped up to try to take the undefeated belt away from the Team CDL and Coach Justin just couldn't put enough effort into it. I mean, this is the best get. So, congratulations, Coach Justin with Team CDL securing that 6-0. Now, let's move on to our upset of the week last week. And that was Smooth Criminal with Coach A-Dub versus Jamaica Workers with Coach Fabian. Now, we look at this score, 112 over here, 83.34 over here. As you can see, it was not a ball game in between these two organizations. But I would love to point out to him, Manny, do not look at the final score and determine that's what the story is going to tell you. Because let me take you on this journey with me. If you go ahead and you check out these games, you check them out, what do we see? Puka Nakua, questionable, went down early in the game to not return for an ankle injury, and now is considered to be out for a couple weeks now this season. And the Offensive Rookie of the Year, the guy who's been putting up major numbers, Ibuka, He goes down with a hamstring injury in the beginning of the game. So two major players who put up major points for this organization goes down early, which takes away some major points away from this team. Could have been 20 points each minimal. And if you give those 20 points each minimal, he skates by and gets this win. So, but nonetheless, you never know what can happen in fantasy, and you got to be prepared and have you guys step up when it's time to step up. And Smooth Criminal has been consistent all year and took advantage of those injuries and got the win this week and got the upset.
Yeah, for Jamaica Workers and Coach Fabo, it's one of those, man, you just got to say, hey, I got to take this one. And we got to move on to next week. And I got to pivot, got to figure out what I'm going to do with these injuries, got to be really locked in to see what is coming out with the injury reports and the news and all kind of sleeper information, just to really be able to see, okay, are any of them going to be available? It doesn't look like it now. And so a quick turnaround on the season, you got to see who's going to be available. Again, Jamaica Workers, they are way high in the rankings at 2. But we've seen plenty of teams fall. We've seen plenty of teams rise. And to be honest with you, A-Dub, injuries like these really, really hurt. So as much as we don't want to pile on, we do have to be fair, impartial, really scholarly gentlemen, if I would have to describe it.
Okay.
And Jamaica
True,
Workers,
true.
you are crash out of the week with 83.34. But hold on, folks. Hold on. I misspoke, actually. You are one
Let's
of
go.
the crash outs of the week. We
We
got
got more
2.
than one?
And this one,
Oh
we
my
will
God.
pile on. The Prodigal Sons, again, you are once again crash out of the week. Less than 100 points, 98.78 points. That would only beat one other team in the league, and that is the Jamaica Workers. So, got to figure it out. Prodigal Sons, it's not been the glorious return that they'd hoped for in this crash out league. Currently sit 7th in the rankings as the time that week 6 concluded. So, man, oh man, you have got yourself a crash out of the week, sir. That one, once again, going to the Prodigal Sons. Now, AW, let's go ahead and look at our power rankings so far in the season as we head into week 7. You see there, number 1, again, the man perfect at the top of the mountain is RIP Team CDL, because we know the injury to CD Lamb, but news is he should be coming back soon, so we'll hopefully look out for that. Jamaica Workers, big injury just happened, but now find themselves still squarely at 2nd. Shout out to Team Get Back and Coach Cam on a 4-game win streak, now sitting
Yeah.
third. Sitting third. 4th, it's been a 2-game skid for 2 inches too big. They are giving out wins like free candy, and it has been a struggle for him in these past couple weeks. He's trying to look to get right in this next week. He sits at 4. Smooth Criminal with a 1-game win streak, picking up that win on a upset of the week call that we made, and he now sits 5th. GBK, the loss to the man up top, finds himself at 3-3 even, and now sits 6th, also on a 1-game losing streak. The Prodigal Sons at 7th. Mo City Menace at 8. You see, we've had this team change names a couple times. Now, currently,
Yeah.
it's easy win if you score 138. But we all know him. We all love him. It's Team Luck and Coach Lucky. And then at the bottom, the Gridiron Cartel with Coach Deshaun. But a special shout out to him. He got himself his first win of the season. So no teams winless here in the Crash Out League as he got himself the first one of the year. And that, folks, is your power rankings as we go into week 7.
Hey, as you see, the way it is, it's anybody's ball game. I'm talking about the only person who's on the run right now is Coach Justin and Team CDL. And even then, he's only 2 games or 3 games ahead of the guys that's right below them that could come and take that number one spot. But everybody at the bottom, it's anybody's ball game. Even Gridiron Cartel, you just got your first win. But look at that. It took you 5 weeks to get your first win, but look at it. You are still 1 or 2 games away from getting into the playoffs still. So you're still in this race. So keep your head up, keep your head high, make the plays that need to be made, and you will make it happen, get into the playoffs. Now, speaking of something that's like the playoffs, we all know what's happening
Mm.
this week. We all know what the commission has been cooking up. We announced it last week, and today it's time to give y'all even more information that we missed to give you guys, and even show y'all what's going on with the mid-season tournament. Now,
Ooh.
as I pull this up for you guys, for everybody to see, you see the order. It's what the order is right now in the league, starting from the top with Coach Justin and Team CDL at the 1 and go all the way at the bottom to Team Gridiron Cartel with Coach Deshaun. Now, for everybody to make sure that we make sure that this is clear. 1 and 2 will still keep their spots. So Team CDL and Team Jamaica Workers will keep their spots at 1 and 2. They will not change. We will rotate everybody else 3 consecutive times. And wherever you land is where you land at in the bracket. Now, let's say that Team CDL or Jamaica Workers don't land at 1 or 2, but they land at like 7 or 10. Whoever is in a spot at 1 and 2 will switch with them at 7 and 10. And that is how everybody placements will work. Now, just to make sure something else is clarified, during the mid-season tournament, if you are currently playing in a tournament, you are going to get 2 different organizations in 1 week. One
Ooh.
is for the regular season for your
Right.
record to go ahead and keep accumulating in that, and another is straight for the mid-season tournament. Your mid-season tournament losses will not affect your regular season. Your mid-season tournament wins will not go towards your record in the regular season. I will come back to that. So everybody will be playing 2 games per week while they're still in the mid-season tournament. Now, what is the point of all this, Manny? What's the point of us setting up a mid-season tournament? Why is the commission doing this? When he did the rivalry week, it was all about you get to steal waiver wire picks. And some organizations have been doing that lately, and they've been making some big moves off of it. So what else
They
can the
definitely have.
commission do for somebody for winning the mid-season tournament, man? What, any guesses? Any guess what type of reward that the commission trying to give out for this?
I mean, I've heard a lot of different things floating around. I've heard 50 grand from the commish. I've
Oh, dang.
heard, a private dinner handled by the commish. You know, I've I've heard something even as awesome as like you get to have ice cream with the commish. You know what I mean? And just like a one-on-one kind of date.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that I've been hearing. On Reddit. Just kind of all over the league, people talking. I have my sources, of course. As a journalist, I don't want to give up my sources. That's just not the right thing to do. Um, but nonetheless, the general consensus is we got an award, A-Dub, for winning the
Yeah.
mid-season tournament.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to go ahead and lace you guys on what that award is going to be for winning the mid-season tournament. The first of its kind here in the Crash Out League. If you are blessed enough to make it through this tournament, the single elimination tournament, all the way to as a champion, if you win, you get to decide. I'm a little closer. Make sure you're hearing this. You get the rightful ownership to decide the matchups for the last 2 weeks in the regular season. You get the great
Oh,
power to decide who plays who for the last 2 weeks of the season. Man, what you think about that? What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts?
That's huge. I mean, that's huge. How do you not take advantage of that? You know, if there's a team that you beat up every time that you've seen them throughout the season, yeah, let me get them this week, and you know what? Let me get them next week also. You know, let's do it both weeks, man. Plus, if you're like, you know what, I'm right on that fringe. I'm at 8. I know 7 make it into the playoffs. I know 7 has an easy maybe week. His opponent has a couple guys injured. He's playing backups, whatever. Switch me in that spot. I want that. Make him go against the top dog in the league. Oh my goodness, this could change playoff factors and seeding and just even placements in general. So, man, oh man. Now, of course, I could see it where it's a team that's already secured in the playoffs, maybe 1 or 2, and he just decides, you know what, man, let's mess some things up. Let's throw a
Yeah.
couple people out of the playoffs that thought they were very much in the playoffs. So, man, great job by the commish. I think this is a great move. This is going to be really, really exciting to see for this midseason tournament and for the end of the year.
Okay, you took the words right out of my mouth. You literally get the power to dictate how the playoff tree will look. If you at 2 or 3, how can I rearrange these next 2 weeks to give me the number 1 spot so I get the bye week? If you out the playoffs and I'm out by 1 game, how can I make it where I can win the next 2 weeks and get into the playoffs? So it's huge. Everybody gets that type of what's the correct way to say this? Everybody gets a chance to acquire that power. So it's not like somebody is overpowered for somebody else. Everybody had the chance to compete in this tournament in order to get that power. So let's go ahead and see what the tournament is going to look like. Like I stated before,
Boy,
I
here
will
we go.
shuffle this
Here we go.
3 times. And CDL and Jamaica Workers are the only people who's going to get put back at 1 and 2. And depending on who's where, is going to get shuffled out to replace with these 2 if they're not there at the end of these 3 turns. So here goes the first one. Here goes the second one. And here goes the third one. All right. So let's go ahead and start it off here with Team CDL.
Hey.
Team CDL ended up being at 6. So let's go ahead and move him to 1.
1. Right.
And put Most City Menace at 6. Now, the Jamaica Workers. Jamaica Workers ended up falling at 4, but we all know that they're the number 2 team. So let's move Team Luck and put Team Luck at the number 4 spot. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your 2025 mid-season tournament bracket. And it's as follows. In this first week, in week 7, the 4 teams who are competing this week in this tournament is Gridiron Cartel versus Smooth Criminal and the Prodigal Sons versus Team Get Back. So those 4 teams, I repeat, those 4 teams will compete against 2 organizations this week. Whoever you playing in the regular season and whoever you playing in this tournament. So be prepared to watch what both organizations are doing this week. And the teams who won't play till next week is, of course, Team CDL, who had the number 1 pick, the Jamaica Workers at 2. Then we have Team GBK at 3, Team Luck at 4, 2 inches too big at 5, and Most City Menace at 6. Manny, talk to me. What you think about this bracket right here?
Listen, this is going to make some people upset. You know, this is going to make some people, man, why we had to mix it up? Hey, that's how the draw happened. All right. Be mad at the 1s and 0s, not mad at us. All right. We're just the messengers. But nonetheless, I think this is so fantastic to the point where, man, you got to be ready to go against 2 guys for those first 4 already this week. You know, you don't get a chance to keep that in the back of your head and really process it and understand it. No, you got to get right to it immediately. So, man, oh man, I really like the way that this tournament is set up. And for the bracket itself, again, some people moved higher than what their current power ranking is. Some people dropped a little lower than what their current power ranking is. But nonetheless, gotta show up, gotta perform, gotta compete. And that's, I think, the biggest thing that Commish is trying to do is really just get the competition going here in the Crash Out League, man. So, guys, good luck, all the luck to you, because you're gonna need it here in this midseason
Yeah.
tournament. Now,
Now I think it's time to
A-Dub,
pivot.
can you help me real quick? Can you confirm or deny the rumor that I heard that you can get ice cream with the commish if you win the midseason tournament? Just kind of like a one-on-one thing, any like local spot here, in the Central Texas area, Jenny's, right? Amy's, pretty good spot. Dairy Queen's got a Blizzard. Everybody loves a Blizzard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Andy's. I've never had Andy's, but I heard about Andy's. Can you confirm or deny that for me? I know that you know him personally, so
Yeah.
you guys kind of have that communication with each other.
So he wouldn't want me to speak on it, but I'll speak on it for him because we've been talking about these rumors as well. Because of course we're hearing them as well, but
Mm-hmm.
I can't confirm it just now. But I will
Mm.
say the commish is a huge fan when it comes to Jenny's ice cream, and he
Wow.
seriously is considering going ahead and sitting down whoever wins this mid-season tournament and getting them some ice cream from Jenny's. He's considering it. We done joked about it. I
Yeah.
haven't
Yeah.
got a confirmation from him. This is not hey. I'm just saying. In a couple weeks from now, let's see how he feeling. Come back to him and I'll let you guys know, if he decides to go there.
I mean, that's huge. That's huge. That's almost equally as huge as being able to handle the schedule in the last 2 weeks, man. So I think that's going to be really, really exciting. Folks, I will be the bad guy again Thursday. Your dues must be in before Thursday night kickoff. Now, again, we're community. All right. We are a league before we're anything else. So if you got to wait for the paycheck to come through on Friday, go ahead, slide that news to the commish. Okay. Let him know. All right. Because again, we are a league before we are anything else. All right. But for those of you
Facts.
that are breaded up the way I know some of you are, before Thursday night kickoff, get your money in. Okay.
Get your money in.
Get your money up, not your funny up.
Get
your
your
money in,
money in
folks.
and stop playing. I don't even know why the commission ain't got it yet, but get your money in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So glad we were able to clear that up for y'all. Now, we will go ahead and move on to this next week of games, week 7, on our matchups of the week, games of the week, and then the upset alerts. Again, we hit on our last upset alert. So, hey, I'm not saying that we've got the crystal ball and we know what's going on, but it takes a ball knower to know some ball. So if you are on that upset alert, you might want to kind of keep yourself head on a swivel. Now, for our game of the week, we talked about them already. Actually, we talked about both already, but I think we are going to go with GBK versus Jamirical Workers. That's going to go ahead and be my game of the week. I think all the pressure right now is on the Jamirical Workers. How are you going to respond to losing 2 pivotal pieces of your team? How are you going to really come out and answer back? And then for GBK, man, you had a shot. You had a shot at the top of the mountain. You couldn't get it done. Can you get it done with the man at the second highest part of the mountain and see if you can't punch back and get yourself a bit of an answer. Both these guys looking for a win. They're looking to really solidify themselves in that first bit of the playoffs. So, or in the season, trying to get themselves further ahead in the standings. This is going to be my game of the week. Again, I think there's so many questions surrounding both of these teams. Who's going to be that real step up guy for either one of them? I'm really excited to see how this one pans out.
It's a good pick right there. I'm gonna go with our upset of the week, the one that we think is gonna hit
Ooh.
once again for back-to-back weeks, and that's going to be Team Luck versus Team CDL. Hey, Coach, I know it may feel like you got a target on your back. You do. You're 6-0. You're undefeated. Everybody's gunning for you. There's no time for you to relax. There's no time for you to not be on your pivot. There's no time for you to just take back a step, look at the sky, and take it all in. There's teams coming for you. We got Team Luck, who has been struggling this season, but nonetheless has been coming up, putting up points these past 3 weeks. Have they been turning into wins? No. But you do know that this team could put up 120, 130. And you've been consistently putting
Major
up
points.
140. But can you continue to do that throughout this week? And that's what I mean by you can't take a break. You can't take your foot off the gas. Because this week you got a player who's coming in with some intent and they trying to get back in the race into the playoffs while we hit the mid-season point here in the season. So we're going to go ahead and pick this for our upset of the week. Let's see if Coach Lucky could bounce back this game, knock off an undefeated team, and get the trains moving again to get put in the win column. Now, the biggest thing here for this matchup is, can we get that boy CD Lamb healthy and able to play this week? Coach Barlow already lost Garrett Wilson. He's done for
Yep.
a couple weeks. So
Yep.
we can't even think about playing him this week. So can he get CD Lamb to play this week? If not, who do you turn to? Do you go to the
Right.
portal and pick you somebody from the waiver wire? You got Devontae Smith here, who's struggling with the Eagles passing game right now. And then Jamal Williams right here, who's a one-shot wonder. If he's not getting 80-yard bomb, I don't know how he has a good game. But nonetheless, you got to make some moves. And this is why it's the perfect time for Coach Luck to take a shot at him right now when his two best receivers are out currently this week.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a season of injuries, it feels like, right? I mean, there's been so many big names going down with either a hamstring or an ankle issue or what have you. I mean, there's been a lot of issues with injuries so far this season. Unfortunately, man, we've lost a lot of really good players to those ACL and Achilles tears that just, I mean, really devastate you. So, again, can you pivot? Can you continue to put up the points? We know that Coach Lucky really likes to get together a squad, and year after year, he's been near the top, if not at the top, of points for each and every season. So, again, really excited to see how these match up, and we'll see. We'll see if the bounty will change or if Coach Justin and Team CDL will break the record for longest ever streak of the bounty board here in the Crash Out League. So again, really, really exciting.
Hey, Manny, are you noticing what I'm noticing right now?
What's the
Do we have a regular season matchup and tournament matchup playing together in the same week? We got Smooth Criminal
I
and
think we
Gridiron
do.
Cartel going at each other in the mid-season tournament and in the regular season. So they don't got to worry about playing two
Wow.
organizations. They going head to head in both columns. So this is winners take all. in this matchup right here.
Oh
So I
yeah.
think we gotta mention this
Oh yeah.
matchup right here. I'm talking about two organizations. One split at 500, another one just got his first big time win, but been consistently putting up points. Can you continue that streak against Smooth Criminal? Smooth Criminal just lost Josh Allen to the bye week. So can you take advantage of him missing Superman this week? Man, I mean, I can't believe with the magical of fantasy just let this happen, let this fall in our laps like this. We got two teams in the mid-season tournament playing against each other and in the regular season, man. I just had to mention that. Had to.
Yeah. We're definitely gonna keep an eye on that matchup. So again, tune in next week if you want to see what exactly happened. But talking about games that we're gonna keep our eye on, we go ahead and move on to your favorite segment, our favorite segment. It's NFL games of the week, folks. Games that you should be tuning into that are either going to be extremely exciting or it's going to be something that we know a lot of players in fantasy are part of those games. Oh God. Oh.
We talk about NFL, I gotta pull it out. I gotta, one of the best teams, if not the
Anyways,
best team in the league.
we move on. We start off at 3:05 on Sunday. That will be Colts versus Chargers. Indiana Jones has been absolutely lighting it up. He has been a fantastic addition to this team, and they are not only a surprise, but in fact, competitors in this league. So that'll be very, very exciting. The Chargers on the other side, you're always going to have Herbert. He's going to try to, again, Superman his way to getting this team a win. Then we have Commanders versus Cowboys, an NFC East matchup at 3:25 Central Time. Again, on Sunday. Chargers coming off of a loss to the Bears, nonetheless. So both teams losing to the Bears so far this season. The Cowboys just lost to the Panthers. I mean, we are seeing a historically bad defense. I mean, I don't think we've seen as much disparity as you have the number one offense in the entire league, but the 32nd ranked defense in the league. I mean, that's just, I guess the saying is true. Defense will at least win you games, I guess. So, got to get that one shirt up. But nonetheless, we'll see how that one goes again in an NFC East matchup. And then the Buccaneers and the Lions to finish us off on Monday night at 6 p.m. Buccaneers, somehow, some way, Baker Mayfield is making this team run when he is not having his option through, I don't know, four, really? I mean, he has had players just drop like flies, but nonetheless, he has continued to be that kind of quarterback. Some people call him MVP for Baker. I like him. I like the way that he plays. He is a fantastic ball player. But you do have the Lions on the other side. And the Lions, they themselves are no team to laugh at. They have weapon after weapon after weapon. And it seems like what was a slow start to the season has just gone into hyperdrive. I mean, they have kicked it into a whole nother gear and have truly become that team that we expect them to be now. St. Brown has not been getting as many touches as most folks are used to him having. So we'll see if the game plan is to start to get him involved a little bit more. But nonetheless, those are your three NFL games of the week. So we rewind it all the way back. Colts versus Chargers at 3:05. I gotta go with the Colts on this one, man. I really like what Daniel Jones is doing up there in Indy, and I like the way he's playing, and it just feels like everything's gelling. You also have JT, the number one back right now in the league, almost playing like that number one back in the league. So again, I gotta go with the Colts in this one.
I mean, it's a fair pick. The Coast of balling right now. Their defense look pretty good right now. When Daniel Jones, the quarterback who just came back to life, that nobody thought this was gonna happen. I'm gonna go ahead and say that every time we bring up the Coast. Nobody ever thought that his career would be rebirthed into this season. But nonetheless, they travel into LA to go and try and knock off the Chargers. And Justin Herbert is one of those guys trying to be the next Superman and go ahead and be a top 5 quarterback. So I'm gonna ride with the Chargers this week to get it done and make it happen at home
Okay.
this week.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah. All righty. So we move to the next one: Commanders versus Cowboys. And again, yes, I support the star, but am I delusional? No, I'm not.
Yes.
So, no, don't do that. So, I'm going to go with the obvious pick here. And I'm going to go with the Commanders to win, to take another step in claiming the NFC East and beating the Cowboys because we can't stop a nosebleed to save our lives. So that'll be my answer at 320.
Hey man, it could never be me. I could never go against the grain. I would never choose nobody over my own team. So you know what? I'm gonna do you a favor and I'm gonna ride with the boys this week. It's gonna be an offensive shootout between the Commanders and the Cowboys. Now, I'm also saying this because I'm also predicting the CD Lamb to get some action this week. But nonetheless, George Pickens has been balling as wide
Oh
receiver
yeah.
one for the Cowboys lately. He has been picking up what CD left off at. So I think they still got enough firepower to outfire the Commanders based off what I seen against Chicago last night. So give me them boys to go ahead and get this win. Give me the Cowboys, man.
Special shout out to George Pickens, man. 6 touchdowns in 6 games. He currently leads the league in touchdowns scored. Now, we go ahead and we move on to our final game of the NFL games of the week. It's the Buccaneers versus the Lions, a star-studded matchup if both squads were healthy. So, at 6 p.m. Central Time on a Monday night, I'm going to go with the Lions on this one, man. Again, I love the way Baker Mayfield's playing, but you just lost what is pretty much so far amongst everybody the consensus offensive rookie of the year. This one is just I think too much of a matchup for Baker Mayfield to overcome single-handedly. Again, you don't have Mike Evans, you don't have really a lot of your top wide receiving threats. Your backfield's still there, but again, you can only do so much. So I will go ahead and take the Lions in this one to pick up the win on Monday night.
You know, my mom always told me that I always
Here we go.
tried to go with the little man. She always told me that I was never the one to jump on the side that had the most people. You know, I was never the type of kid to pick on somebody and do it in a way that it makes me happy because it's 20v1. So why would I live that type of lifestyle now and pick the Lions over the Buccaneers? Give me the Buccaneers to handle their business against the Lions. I don't care they miss a wide receiver one. I don't care they miss a wide receiver two. I don't care they miss a wide receiver three. We talk about MVP caliber. Oh, excuse me. I don't care he missing running back, running Bucky Irving neither. We talking MVP caliber Baker Mayfield. Mr. I don't give a damn who I'm playing, where I'm playing, who I'm throwing it to. We gonna make it happen, Mr. Mayfield. We talking about walking your trap, take over your trap, and if I'm not mistaken, Manny, we playing in Detroit this week, huh? Right? Come on. Baker Mayfield got a chip on his shoulder, and he's ready to show people that regardless of what I have going over here, nothing is too much for me. So I'm gonna get with the Bucks to go ahead and get the win this week, especially since hey, and tell me if I'm wrong. From my knowledge, this is the first time that Lions secondary, that Lions defense, period, is finna play without Branch. And I can't wait to see what they look like without their commander back there. So it might get a lot of dysfunctional back there. So that's a perfect time for a team like the Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield to make a splash.
That's a fair point. I also want to let all of yours know his mom has never said anything like that ever. She
Come
never
on,
gave him that
Manny.
speech. She never told him
Manny,
any of
you
that.
don't, you don't,
She
you
never
don't know
said
that.
like never put that sentence was never uttered out of Mama
You
A
don't
Dub's
know
like
that.
just whole vocabulary.
I,
That never happened.
you don't know,
So
you don't know that. You wasn't there.
she's a wonderful lady. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. She's a
Just
wonderful
hating
lady.
on me.
And I could see her
Just
saying that. But did she? No, because you wear that jealous green on you because you don't want the Lions to pick
okay,
up another win
okay,
closer and
okay.
closer to claiming that one spot in the NFC. Whatever. Again,
Yeah,
hey, Dub, send
yeah.
them home, please.
We got the win on them, so it don't. You know what? Appreciate y'all for tuning in for another episode here on the Crash Out League TV. We really appreciate all the love that we've been getting. Everybody commenting, liking. We'd love for y'all to subscribe and send it to y'all grannies, aunties, girlfriends, sneaky links, chicks. Just send it to the whole network. You know what
All
I'm
of it.
saying? And let's make it
All of it.
happen. Let's
Yeah.
grow let's grow the
Yeah.
channels. Once again,
Yeah.
appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode here. It's your host, A Dub, and I'm signing out with my co-host, Manny Boy, and we gonna catch y'all next week.